This is the Emerson model 32P04 record player from 1966. I got this a couple days ago, and I just finished redoing it. The lady found it in her attic when she bought her home, and it was in really sorry shape. It was filthy. I took like 12 layers of dust off of it, and it needed typical lubrication and so forth to get it going. But as you can see, it cleaned up really nice. It actually came with the instructions, which is nice, and an original new old stock needle that I actually put in, and it sounds pretty good. This is it's a two-way AC DC record player, but it only works on AC, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But as you can see, it's got a nice BSR changer, vintage BSR changer, and these are practically bulletproof as long as you lubricate them. It did have its usual glitches, the trip mechanism, those two plates on the cycling cam. Have to make sure those are really clean in order for the mech to trip at the end of the record. So a couple things when I was redoing this. First of all, Emerson, this player, they really made it user serviceable. So when you lifted up this turntable, it had the wires had clips underneath, so you just pull the wiring underneath out of the clips, and you can completely separate the turntable, which made the servicing really easy. So this was pretty easy to do. The hardest part was just the filth that accumulated on this thing. Even though it wasn't used that much, it was just dirty from sitting in an attic or garage or wherever. But as you can see, I mean, this thing is all original. Like I said, it came with this new old stock diamond needle, which I put in. It even comes with its original 45 adapter, BSR adapter with the box. So that's a plus. And because this motor was a dual power, it took 60 batteries. And I say it took 60 batteries. So when I got into this player and lifted up the turntable, the battery tubes are pretty much cooked. First of all, those are 2 of the 6 batteries that I took out. And the ironic thing, back in the day, these were quote-unquote leak-proof, which I highly doubt now. But as you can see, these tubes, the rest of the batteries are stuck in there. I mean, they're just cooked. Everything is just corroded. So you know what I did? The hell with it. I yanked it out like a bad tooth, and it's AC powered only. Yeah, I would have liked to have battery operated, but you know what? Even if I left these things in, all the rust was getting underneath the changer. So I just ripped it out. Too much of a hassle for right now. The record player works perfect just the way it is. But before I get into the workings, I'll show you. So that's where the batteries went, and then there's your little battery diagram. But it's AC only now, and that's perfectly fine. I'm happy with that. And another thing to mention, which is kind of unique, because this was a battery operated record player as well. It was playing slow. For some reason, it was playing slow. So I said, okay, well, it's probably the bearings. So I did the typical motor restore. I oiled the bearings, but it was still playing slow. Lo and behold, the motor for this changer, this BSR changer, this particular one, has a governor. And when I took the bottom part of the motor, the casing off, lo and behold, there was the governor. And there's a tiny little screw that you either tighten or loosen, which either pushes the little contact micro switch towards the center or away to keep the speed rotating. So what was happening was that little contact, sort of like points in an old ignition, what do you call it? Distributor cap. So I had to tighten the screw to get the points to stay together so the governor can rotate at the proper speed. It's the same type of motor. If you saw Chris Cuff restore the RCA 6BY4 portable battery AC operated record players, the motor has that little governor. Same principle here. So there's a little tiny screw. You turn it counterclockwise to make the motor run slower, or you turn it clockwise just a hair to bring those contacts together so the governor can stay spinning. Anyway, that's what the problem was. And that little gremlin took me a while to figure out. You know, I was racking my head saying, okay, well, I lubricated the changer, everything's done, blah, 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 blah. It was the governor. So anyway, now the record player is playing at the right speed. But, you know, as you can see, that I mean, it's in really nice. I love, 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 love the styling. It's got a nice little, sorry for my hand, it's got a nice little indicator light that it's on. Here's your AC battery switch, which now it's going to stay on AC. Tone, volume controls. It changed, it really cleaned up nice. I love the design of this. It's really, really cool. So 1960s. It comes with the instruction manual. It was, of course, I had to refer to it a few times to do some servicing with this. But it's complete. Whoever had it took really good care of it. And so I cleaned it up, lubed it. I mean, it's working great now. And it's a 4-speed changer. So these BSR changers are bulletproof, those of you who work on it. I mean, once you lube it, they can get tricky. But once you lubricate them properly and do all the required servicing, get rid of all that old sticky glue grease from decades ago, they work pretty well. So I'm not going to get the copyright pirates, but I'll just let you hear briefly what it sounds like.
Tight, and love's got me high.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but as you can see, the turntable, the changer rather, shuts off as it should, and there it is. But what I like about these BSR changers is the fact that the idle wheels usually are good. You know, they don't have any divots in them, because when this changer shuts off, the idle wheel gets separated from the turntable, which, as you can see, it's free floating, and I loop the crap out of that. As you can tell, that thing will spin for eternity. But the idle wheels are fairly good. You just clean them off, alcohol, and they're good to go. So there you have it. There is the Emerson P, what is it, P whatever, something, record player from 1966.